Thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Governor and fellow senators. I begin my remarks by thanking the Appropriation Committee for taking this effort up in a timely fashion. I'd like to thank the chairperson in particular for this effort, and all the members of the Appropriation Committee that looked upon this issue in these serious times of high unemployment for the Michigan State workers. Many times we have resolutions that come before this body. I think it would be somewhat difficult to find a more appropriate resolution than what we're addressing here today. We have heard, we have seen, and we have read about Michigan workers being left behind in these tough economic times as well. These are historic times for Michigan workers, and we should do all we can as representatives of those workers and those contractors and those businesses to make sure that the money is available, that they go to the local recipients. It has come to my attention in Genesee County where we were the recipients of recovery money. Yet those that had the ability to make a decision to put our contractors and our workers and our suppliers and vendors to work chose a different path. And that's why I think it's important that we pass this resolution. We're leaving too many Michigan workers behind. When this effort first began, and a few weeks ago when I spoke to the majority floor leader about this incident, and I appreciate his forthrightness in handling this in a timely fashion, but we are leaving people behind here in our state that should be receiving this money. And receiving the money means a paycheck for those and their families. This should be a bipartisan effort. But upon working with those in the process, both in the majority and the minority caucuses, it has come to light that we not only lost opportunities in our state to put state workers to work in our particular counties, but we indeed had lost ability to hire Michigan workers to foreign lands. We understand the new interest in green energy in this state, and I, for one, think that we can be using those stimulus dollars here in this state to rejuvenate old plants, to reinvigorate a new generation of workers. But that has not been the course that we have chosen to take. In my county, one of the highest unemployment regions in the whole country, a recent board decision was made to send the money outside of our county. I don't want that to happen in my county anymore, and I don't want it to happen in yours. But it did, and it shouldn't. But when I get news that we spend stimulus dollars dedicated to Michigan and American workers, and we send it overseas when China starts receiving our tax dollars, I just reflect back in recent memory about when we put together the cash for clunkers, and Americans and Michiganians were put at odds when many of the top vehicles that were purchased did not support American domestic products or American workers, but many foreign vehicles were made and sold to Michiganian families and American families as well. So I think this is a vitally important resolution. I wish that we could handle this as a chamber itself. That's how important I think this is to put Michigan workers to work. The quality of our Michigan workers is being diminished because they're not being able to demonstrate their trade because of the high unemployment. This is a very personal issue. The trades, the high-skilled and the best quality workers in our state that belong to trade unions, and absolutely the non-union element as well, they can be recipients of this money. This shouldn't be a union, non-union fight. And this shouldn't be a Genesee County, Clinton County fight. This should be a fight for Michigan workers, no matter where they are. But if my area qualifies for stimulus dollars because of the high unemployment rate, because we have such a high rate and we qualify for these dollars, that's the workers, and that's the contractors, and that's the vendors and suppliers that should be receiving this money. So, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, I ask that we join our voices together in a unified effort to say Michigan workers will be first, no matter where they live, Marquette or Monroe.